show. Locks Radio hit different, let the real ones know. We don't do scripts, we don't do fake. We spit truth with a beat that'll make the block shake. Hey, Cookie on deck, voice cut like a blade. She talk legacy, hustle and moves that she made. This ain't if and fluff, this is street fed flame. Where the mic got memory and the voice got name. We built this from flies and late night grind. From TikTok live to the radio line. Looks radio ain't clean, looks radio ain't tame. Looks radio is the echo of a bold ass name. We came from the curb, now we speak to the globe. Cookies might got power, it ain't just for show. She talk for the queens who built from scratch. For the ones who hustle and never look back. Locks Radio ain't just a vibe, it's a stance. It's the sound of the block when it finally gets a chance. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. We rep the grown folks in the wild youth. Every drop got grit, every beat got soul. Every word she spit got a legacy goal. We ain't polished, we ain't soft. We the voice of the street when the filters come off. Cookies might stay hot like the pavement in June. Looks Radio play loud like a bass line boom. We don't whisper, we roar, we don't knock. We kick in the door. This is for the ones who never got heard, who speaking rhythm and living word. We built this from scratch, no handouts, no deals. Just raw talk, real feels and street appeal. Looks Radio ain't just a station, it's a movement. Where the mic speaks truth and the beat brings improvement. So when you hear that drop, know it's bold. Know it's Looks Radio, legacy told. You want polished? Nah, we raw with the sound. Looks Radio live, straight up from the ground. Cookie got heat, and the mic stay loud. We don't follow trends, we move the crowd. You want polished? Nah, we raw with the sound. Looks Radio live, straight up from the ground. Cookie got heat, and the mic stay loud. We don't follow trends, we move the crowd. Yeah.
Welcome to Kickback with Cookie. How's everybody doing today? We have a special episode today because my guest is from Ghana, so it is late if I had done it at 7 p.m. So we're doing it early today specifically for him. So don't forget that Kickback with Cookie airs every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is a special episode. We sometimes have those. We have to have special episodes because my guests are from everywhere. Hey, sister. That's my sister, you guys, April Evans. So she's tuned in from upstairs. I think she's even still working, but I appreciate you tuning in, sis. I appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to get started here. My guest today is Rude Vybz. He is a Ghanaian recording artist. I have never in my life interviewed anyone from Ghana. So I'm excited because I know you guys know, some of you guys know Michelle Blackwell. Michelle is always in Ghana and she speaks so highly of it. And she's been saying, you got to go with me. You got to go with me. So I'm like, look, I'm going to go one day because it looks gorgeous there. So I'm going to bring him on the stage so you guys can meet my artist. Hello.
Hi there, Cookie.
I'm good. How are you?
Everything good, right, sir?
Good. So I'm excited about this interview. You know, I don't change the time for my show for anybody, but I did it for you because you were so far away and the time difference was crazy. I didn't want your fans and followers to be tuning in at 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I'm glad to have you here on Kickback with Cookie. You know, this show was created actually to give artists a spotlight. And I think that a lot of you, especially you, have a special talent that the world needs to see.
Respecting that.
So I definitely am glad you're here. And we are going to just jump right into it. If you could tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Okay, firstly, Cookie, really appreciate this opportunity one more time, you know. And a big hail out to everyone, you know, who've tuned in, you know, for this session, you know. as you said, this is a special edition of our Kickback with Cookie. You know, firstly, I'm Rude Vybz, a young dancer intellect from the hearts of Ghana, Africa. You know, Rude Vybz is a young, dedicated, committed dancer youth, who is highly inspired by our Vybz Cartel. You see, so you see the name there, Rude Vybz. All what come from the inspiration, where I have, from the dancer legend Vybz Cartel, So when you see Rude Vybz, they know what I'm going already, Respect, that cookie.
Absolutely. Bless up to my sister Trina in the chat. She looks like she's breaking the rules at work to watch this special episode with my guest. So you said that you like Rude, you like Vybz Cartel. Is that how you got your name? Explain to us how you got your name.
Yeah, you see, this all started, when I was in college, way back. You see, been almost 7 years now, you see. Man was a youth these days, watching Vybz Cartel, You see, I didn't actually come to meet him, while he was outside, you see. I came to experience, you see, his history, everything that he left behind when he was in bars. You see, and from that, I came to realize Vybz Cartel is an outmoded artist, which mostly everyone who have the interest, and the love for dancer, is somewhere or somehow linked to Vybz Cartel. Everyone who is into dancer already knows something about Vybz Cartel, the legacy of Vybz Cartel. You see, from this I had the inspiration, but already I had the name as well, Rude Boy. You see, from that time I was very young and didn't know about Vybz Cartel. So from when I started to get the chance to hear Vybz Cartel, I began to see, I also have this passion. Like, I feel like one day, started to feel like one day, I have to be like this man. You see, Vybz Cartel is the man, So from there, I started listening to his lyrics, trying to do some sing-alongs, continuously. And this been years, you see, Koki, and you can tell how great and exciting, this experience have been, so far. Having me as Rude Vybz here, being highly inspired by our Vybz Cartel, the name of Vybz Cartel, and its legacy as well.
Okay. All right. So how is it in Ghana? Well, how would you express your love for your country? How do you feel about your country? I could tell you how I feel about mine, but
Okay, the love for Ghana, absolutely 100%, As you said, you have a sister here in Ghana, and I hope you've heard the compliments, Okay, so I'll urge I'll beg you to just have some time, come and experience what the fun and how great is it to be in Ghana here, Ghana is a great country, As you can see, Ghana is a freedom space. You see, we got love for our foreign. You see, Ghana is a great space, Everyone outside there, I'll urge each and everyone, to have time and come experience this greatness over here in the hearts of Ghana.
Okay. All right. So, when did you said what age was it when you fell in love with music and decided that you were going to be an artist?
Yeah, I was 16 years by then, Koki. As a youth, as I said, was back in college these days, Yeah, it was 16 years. And man was too young by then, But the love for dancer was actually high, And that's what brought me to this far, As an artist with the name Rude Vybz, you see me?
Okay, so your childhood included music.
Yeah, music strictly. Because I have my uncles, My uncles been DJs, Just like, I came to realize Vybz Cartel to have such background, From this, they started motivating me, you see. Like, I also came to believe there is a space, if I continue on doing this thing, whilst I don't stop, Yeah, I always knew there would be a way, out this.
Was it a certain person or thing that inspired you to do music? Like, was it your love for Vibes Cartel, or was it, just like, does
Not just
music
the
run in
love
your
for Vice
family?
Cartel. But as you can see, we started from what? The trenches. And from the trenches, you can see the life out here. Every youth want to be somebody. You see, every youth want to be somebody. So from a youth age, watching the hustle of my parents day in, day out, I also had a feeling you have to grow and become somebody. Somebody of a big name, someone people who are always call out to. You see, that's always been a dream. So growing up to know Vice Cartel, you see, I started developing the love for what? Dancehall. But I'm a big fan of music. Because from my young age, you see, I always had the ability to sing along the songs of what? The likes of artists we have here in what? Africa and all these artists, you see. Countless artists which I can mention all out here, you see.
Okay.
So the sufferation part of it, the sufferation is a big part of it. Growing up, seeing what go down, life, you see, out here, not easy like as I said, the excitement out here, but you see, growing up not easy like that. From Africa here, you see, can't tell you about enough.
Yeah, I understand. I definitely do. It makes you appreciate, I like traveling, so I experience other cultures all the time. It makes you appreciate what I don't know. I can't even say what we have here. I'm disappointed in my country. I don't know. I can't
Oh,
say
really?
the same thing about you. When people say they love their country, like, I love my country, but I don't love what's going on in my country
Yeah,
right now.
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, like I said earlier.
Okay, so besides, with the exception of Vibes Cartel, leaving him out, who were your musical influences both in Ghana and international?
You see, I have the likes of Shatta Wale. You see, a big dancer figure here in Ghana. Also have the likes of Stoneboy, Samini. All these are big heads, in the dancer industry here in Ghana, you see. So these are the artists which were I started with. You see, these are the artists who made me grow the passion for music as a youth, at the early stage.
Okay, all right. So how do you define your music? Like, do you incorporate like traditional Ghanaian music into your music? Because I know I
Well,
hear, like, I like your music like a lot. Like I said, when I interview people on the show, it's not because somebody asked me to or anything like that. It's because I
yeah,
actually listen to the music and I
the
like the
music.
music. So how would you define your music? Like, do you definitely incorporate some traditional Ghanaian music?
Well, you see, from the name Rude Vybz, yeah, my message, which I actually preach in my music, I stand as a voice of the ghetto youth. Yeah, and when I say ghetto youth, hope you know the ghetto youth. Yeah, you see, most of my music, you see, speak of rejection and slavery, you see, freedom,
Hmm.
salvation, everything. In my music, you are gonna find what these moral lessons, always telling the youth them what to believe in themselves. And being as a voice of the ghetto youth, that mean we only speak about what, me not choose violence and all them things. Cause me as an artist, always want to see my music heal people. Yeah, always want to see my music have impact on what people. You see, every second they just have a listen of what my voice and the message. So me not make what complicity what work in my music. Times
Hmm.
me try break it down, so when everybody have a piece of it, they also can find something they can relate to. You see, So my music purposely, is a sound, have a message, here to awake or uplift the youth them, So
Okay.
Rude Vybz as well, it's a big inspiration out here, to know for you them is it.
Okay. I just noticed like I go to Jamaica a lot, and I know the patois probably more than the average American does. But I noticed that your slang is the same. It's similar. So,
Yeah,
so do you
yeah,
guys
you
call
see,
your slang like patois too, or what do you call it?
yeah, you see, out here in Ghana, you see, that's what the people believe, since the dancehall is a culture of the Jamaican people, Yeah, dancehall originated from what? Reggae, which what also originated from Jamaica, you see, and from the language, you see, the Jamaicans, when you hear dancehall, one thing that you can what realize that this tune is really dancer, is the language, the accent, So here in Ghana, when you start say you is a dancer artist, where you don't know how to speak the Jamaican language, what not fluent with the what accent, people don't really see you as a dancer artist here, because it's a kind of what cultural assimilation, out here in Ghana, we adapting the Jamaican culture, But we not strictly do the same way, you see. We have a more a pattern, where we follow as we Ghanaians, when we want to do this dance, Times you see we have these African rhythms, these Afro beats. We try mend it with the dancehall, accent and
Right.
melodies and rhythms, so that we too can come out with something similar as the Caribbeans, doing out there, you see.
Okay. All right. So can you walk us through or tell us how your songwriting process is? Like what do you factor into your songwriting process? And also, and I asked every artist this, do you pick
Okay.
a rhythm first and then you put the music, your lyrics to it, or do you write lyrics and then you just find the right rhythm?
Okay. Actually, okay, you see, I always have, you see, me as an artist, I'm also used to this production, Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
also into production, So at first, at the early stage when they started this music, it always was like get a beat
Mhm.
before I sit down, try memorize something, start with the miming, you see, can do sounds like, you see, melodies on the beat before you sit down and realize, you see, no one move with this pattern. You will work out different patterns, That's what I've been doing. So I get samples, then I sit down while listening to them. The one which sounds rhythmical to the ears, is the one where I choose and sit down and try to edit and put in words, you see. I try sit down and now filling spaces or words, you see. There are certain type of music, when I hear beats, I automatically start to vibe to. But we have certain songs, the kind of message where you want to put in, and always every artist don't want to always sound as this year. You see, they have
Exactly.
to be dynamics, you see. So right now, me as an artist into production, it's always like me build a melody. I try to come up with something catchy, you see, yeah, melody. Then I sit down and think about the progressions that can match it out well, that can make it sound more better to the ears, that can make it more conducive as music, you see, before I start writing the lyrics or even to choose the storyline, I first choose the storyline. Okay, I want to talk about this in this song. I try
Mhm.
to list down some points, you see, points that when the listener hears it, things that can make somebody feel like he's in your shoes, you see, before I
Mhm.
start to drop down these lyrics, That's how I've been going by it, always, and it's been working great for me. Other artists also have different ways, they do it, they come by it, but me as Rude Vybz, this how I do it, this how I do it.
Okay. Do you ever have creative blocks, like you just, it feels like you just can't create, and how do you overcome that?
Yeah, you see, with this creativity, there's always creative blocks, every artist will talk about this, and how often they've been fighting against it, but in my way, in my opinion, I have my own remedies, with times when I come across creative blocks, I try to find inspirations, yeah, with nature. I try to times I adapt to changing of environment, to free up
Okay.
my mind space, so that I can sit down and try and come up with something fresh or a new energy. You see, that's always what I've been doing, Cookie.
No, I'm so sorry. I don't know what just happened, but all
Okay.
right. Okay. So that's how you overcome your creative
Yeah.
block.
You see,
All
and
right.
I also have sticking to regular exercises. Always when I come across such, I try to put a stop and get back to some exercises. This helps free my mind. So whenever I come back, it's like having a fresh energy. Waking up from bed. Whenever it is, wherever it is. This is how I overcome. Creative blocks.
Okay. So have you ever collaborated with any other Ghanaian artists? Which ones?
Yeah.
Who were they?
Okay, I think I have songs out here with artists like young intellectual female artists like J.A.B, one talented youth out here. And I have Adilusika, one dancer, youth here out here in Ghana. Me and him have almost countless about 4 to 5 readings, out there, And me also have like our different kind of artists, many, where we also have projects we're not ready out there, but have productions, with other artists too from foreign. I can mention of YVs, an artist from the Kingside Studios, out from France. Also have a feature out here with him, Yeah.
Okay. So that was the only person other outside of Ghana was from France.
Yeah, so far, I've been working with producers, who have been sending beats, a kind of collaboration works, But with artists, YVs is the artist who I actually have as a foreign artist on my projects, for now.
Do I know any of these producers?
I don't know if you really, yeah, of these producers, One big up to
Maxwell
Maxwell
Sparta.
Sparta, the
All
general
right.
run boss, Yeah.
Absolutely
Actually, he was
blessed
the
up.
one, who,
So yes, he's a really good friend of mine. I love Maxwell
yeah.
Sparta like family. He's
Yeah.
awesome. So
He is one top-notch engineer, always inspiring the youth out here, Big up Maxwell.
absolutely, he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Who would you like to work with and why? Like as on a collaboration, who would you
Okay.
like to work with?
Right now, me as Rude Vybz, one artist when me want to work with, me have only per artists where, me have the feeling and the wish to work with, but prior and above them, all is Vybz Cartel, since, the dancer legend out, all me need is a breakthrough, So always praise my readings, or my songs, I go find its way to Vybz Cartel. Me not know about how it I go find its way out there, But me know when Cartel ever have the chance, to hear Rude Vybz, even 3 seconds, Cartel I go voice something out, we can showcase the youth to the world out here, Cause I strictly believe in the name out there, Vybz Cartel is the artist to mention.
We're gonna speak that and we're gonna manifest that for you. That you get to do something with him.
Come again, Cocky.
I said we're gonna manifest that for you. That you get to actually collab with Vybz Cartel.
Oh, this will be a lifetime war, a lifetime war event. Such a breakthrough. Something where I always dream of. Cocky,
Okay.
and would be very appreciated. If anything like such ever pop out of this.
Something's gonna happen. You're a very talented artist. I will say that. Very
Respect,
talented
Cocky.
artist.
Appreciate that.
Okay. How important is it to you to represent Ghana in your music, and how does your national identity influence your work? Like you being a Ghanaian recording artist, is that something that you push? You want people to know you're proud of your heritage, you're proud of your country.
Yeah,
So
strictly
how
proud of
important is it
Ghana.
to add that or represent your country in your music?
Yeah, strictly. I with this I have songs. I also have songs. You see, here in Ghana, you can do dancehall and forget about the culture. You know, so always we have certain journey of music we call high life. High life here in Ghana. This is a field of music which I'm also into. Being a proud Ghanaian, I also try to use the language or the dialect of the Ghanaians. You see, I'm a proud Ghanaian, so I have countless songs, already out there, with the accent is strictly Ghana. It may have a Jamaican rhythm sound, but still, you are gonna feel like, yo, what's this guy trying to say, Yeah, I always want pray, and want to be one of these big heads here in Ghana, representing Ghana out there, in foreign, everywhere, international, because Ghana is a country I'm really proud of, you see. Okay.
Okay. Sounds like it. That's why I'm planning my escape from the United States. I'm moving some out this country. I don't like this country no more. I want to give it back and I want a refund.
Oh, okay, okay. Really
Okay.
want to experience this,
Okay. So, what challenges or unique aspects have you encountered as an artist in the music industry, whether it be, just in Ghana or just universally?
Okay. You see, firstly, I will talk about here in Ghana. I would like to talk about here in Ghana. You know, okay, here, music in Ghana, the industry, the country kind of known by the industry kind of small space, where what artists to mention, you know, like here in Ghana, we don't have, theaters and many theaters and what events and what you see investors out here, who always want give space to young artists, all these investors, have the interest in what these artists, these mainstream artists, these are the artists who always want get the chance to showcase them arts, We the young ones, we don't normally, even the media out here, it's very hard, as a young artist to get your music out there head, just by, it's not easy out here, easy. Times you got to spend time, build relationships and connections before you even get the chance out here, And we don't have, places, many places where you can send your music, for a review, you see,
Mm,
for a review or distributions and all these are things which are newly introduced to us, with the
okay.
digitization and everything, all this I can say since it came to Ghana, it have not really been long, just about 5 years, you see, distance, where here in Ghana, you see, our music was starting to experience all this technology, investments, you see.
Okay. So, you guys don't have like your music industry, you don't have like distribution companies. You have to go outside of Ghana.
Yeah, you see, we
Okay.
have we have distribution. You see, few, And these are very few to mention of, you see, unlike other countries, you know, not very far, but here in Africa, you see, we have Nigeria, which also is like a similar industry to ours, you know, where in Nigeria, you know, young ones are given the chances, you see. Yeah, young ones easily get the chances, you know, to audit their talent, you know, to large audiences and what. You see, times me, I get the opportunity, but there's someone out there, you know, who also are fighting hard for the opportunity, you know. And I will always be willing to get a next stage, you know, where there's somebody already there, you know, who is also fighting to get next to that level, you know. So it's all fight out here, you know. Who fight the hardest most, you know, or who work the hardest most, you know, is the artist who get his name out there, you know. So we always take leverage of the social media handles, you know. As young artists, you have to stick to consistency, you know. Always working out contents, you know, and putting it out there, you know, engaging with new people. That's how we too have been trying to get our music out here, you know. It's not easy out here. You strictly have to win the social media before you get the
okay,
viral piece here, you know.
So you
That's
feel
how
like
it is.
okay, so you feel like technology and social media has helped.
Yeah, this is a very big tool, you know, in we the upcoming artists, you know, our career, you know. We just have to take leverage of social media, you know, out here. That's the real tool, you know, pushing the music out here. And you
Okay.
see, we have bloggers out here, you know, here in our country, you see, it's a country which the majority also have interest in comedy and many things, you see. So artists will always pre the chance, and a comedy act, you know, will always have the space, you know, over the artists, cause them always having content out there, which is always making the people laugh, you know. We have bloggers out here who are always to put out these works, you know, leaving behind the works of these young artists, you know. So it's hard out here, you know. These were promoters and bloggers also make it hard for upcoming artists, you know, to get their works out there as well, you know.
Okay. Well, that's why you have people surrounding you like Maxwell Sparta. Maxwell
Yeah,
Sparta is
yeah,
the
you
guy
see,
to go to.
it's from the social media. You see, this where I got to know Maxwell Sparta, you see. And he's been a big helping, and you know, since then, you know, it's been about 4 to 5 years, you know, knowing Maxwell Sparta, you know. And
I,
you see, he's a big
I
yeah.
always tell everyone, I say that your net worth is only as good as your network. So if you
Yeah,
network with people,
strictly in this
you know,
music, you know, networking is the big tool, you know, out here.
exactly. So
Yeah,
it's important to make relationships with people in the music industry, and
always, always.
because you never know who you're gonna need.
Yeah, and you don't know who show your work to the artist who you would ever wish to work with. You see, that's the vibe out here.
Right, right. Can you describe your journey since you officially entered the music market?
Yeah, you see, I'm strictly into not solely dancer, you know, but here in Ghana, you know, our dancer, you know, since I said it's kind of cultural assimilation, you know, we being blacks from Africa, you know, we have this Africa's Afro dancer, you know. This the dancehall here in Ghana, you know, is popularly termed as Afro dancehall, you know. As I said already, this journey have rhythms or instrumentations, you know, having these African rhythms and these African tones, these traditional tones, you see. Yeah, these producers been working hard to bring up samples like that, you know, which artists always put in the work, you know, and drop foreign. It may be foreign accent, you know, it can be local, you know, but when it's dancehall, the elements of these beats, you know, they are beats when you hear them, you you just simply get to know, this is dancehall, you know. So here in Ghana, we have it as Afro dancehall. You see, it's something Afro, something. And it being Afro, it's all about it being coming from Africa. You see, so this is the dancehall we have here, and we also have artists who is strictly into dancehall, here in Ghana. And me as an artist, I'm strictly into dancehall, and also into what Afro dancehall. As I said, I love my culture, and with the love of representing my country, I go for the Afro dancehall space,
Okay. So tell me about some specific milestones in your career, like a memorable moment that you performed on stage, or just a memorable interaction with a fan or anything like that, like a milestone or a memorable moment in your career.
Okay, so far, to talk about memorable moments, so far, had the opportunity and chance, to stage up with certain A-list artists here in Ghana, Can mention of artists like King Paluta, Raskuku, all these are big S out here, Amrado, all these artists, we've had the chance, have had the chance as an artist, a young artist, being on stage with this artist, or being in front of such kind of huge audience, always been a remarkable moment in my career, you see. Because as I said, it's not all these artists, who get the chance or the exposure, to such events, you see. But me as a young artist, have had certain stages, which I always get the chance to perform, with such big artists like that, I think it's a very such moments always make me feel the proudness of being an artist out here,
Okay. And I'm going to ask you this last question and we'll pick back up, but I want to play, excuse me, I want to play your video, Father God.
Okay,
because there's a video. So I do want to play that video just to give people an idea of what your music is like. I've actually been enjoying your music, and I'm a music connoisseur thanks to my dad. And shout out to my dad. My dad is actually sitting right here.
Yeah. Hello to your dad as well,
He said, my guest said, hello, Daddy. He said, hey, how are you?
So, all good out here. I heard you talking about him last night.
Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl, and he's visiting from out of town.
Oh, that's great.
That's great, Cookie. I haven't seen my dad in a little while because he's in Florida and I'm in DC. So I haven't seen him in a while. So I've been spending some quality time with my dad.
Oh, such is a great moment,
Everybody's saying hi, Daddy. Jim and I gotta say hi too.
Okay.
He said hello, everyone. All right, so this last question, and then we're going to play your video, and then we'll get back to a couple more questions, and then I'll let you go. And then I will make my announcements. So if anybody is new here and you're new to watching Kickback with Cookie or just new to Lux Radio, I encourage you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on all social media. It's Lux_radio on Twitch. It's Lux Radio Network on Facebook and YouTube. And our website, you can subscribe there too, where you get some benefits, some perks and things when we have them. So make sure you subscribe on the website as well. All right, the last question is, how do you feel about before we go to the video? I have a couple more when we come back from the video.
Okay.
But how do you feel about your accomplishments right now, like as far as your music?
Okay, you see, it's been it's so inspiring, and motivating, and it's such an event, to talk about, because starting as an artist here, I never had my name known by anybody here, but so far, Rude Vybz have people, who can call out my name, People even times where I compliment my music, saying out, singling out the kind of words and the kind of impact my music will have on them, such as a great opportunity, to have life, experiencing artists, seeing my music will motivate people, give me what many hopes, in life, to continue doing this,
I appreciate your creative side. It seems like to me, and I listen to all aspects of a song. I listen to the lyrics. I listen to the actual rhythm that you chose. Everything
Okay.
in the rhythm, all the sounds. I listen to all of
Yeah.
that. So it
Okay.
seems like to me, in your lyrics, it seems like you are very strategic about how you place things, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about you as an
Okay.
artist.
Okay. Really appreciate your compliment, Koki.
No problem. All right, so
Okay.
I'm going to play Father
Father
God.
God.
Oops, that's not
Okay.
um let me pause it first and take the all right. So I'm gonna change our view here so we can
Okay.
see.
Yeah, man, they don't know, R.O.D. J.A.B. to the blood class. Fast. Running up running up on line. I have a business. Women are this girl. And a life feeling boss. When the life and the dreams not come yet. Get to you and the mysteries. Lie them a tell you where the mysteries. See them all at hell. Get to you with the
Oh,
mysteries. So them in a S where them got in big C. Can them
snap.
and them ask them a wish it. Jail and they use them a victory. But I gotta know, no, know what is shit. When I done when me want for the victory. Get how you can run when they know but them sin re. Lose them life and look girl and them pin me. Could I be a run mama cry when them wish me. In a black I could have where them all I wish me. Father God, oh no no. I be riding up in line. City get to you, they must every day. I feel them dinner, riding up my line. Father God, oh no, I be riding up in line. City get to you, they must every day. I feel them dinner, riding up my line. Father God alone, oh no no, how this story goes. Heavy get to you, I wanna house. Thinking mother house, buy like a bit of food and clothes. People give him like a better house. I know like send me and see much, but I gotta know the trap. Heavy get to you, I road a shop. Gaga says so club on the block, still I search money long. See them more than what you want, them I block down. Them all I say me mother true, but they come like fire. All them all I never feel man. I know them all I want me since feel give man mine. Get to you would have a dream man. I know they never want me get to you celebrate. I want me fed up on a road, never any the system. I rock still with fight
I
on
loaded up
every way.
before
I saw them tell them more than people say we
before I
celebrate.
started.
Father God, who don't know? I've been riding up in line. City get to you, them answer every day. I'm feeling dinner, riding up in line. Father God, who don't know? I've been riding up in line. City get to you, them answer every day. I'm feeling dinner, riding up in line. Father God, who don't know? I've been riding up in line. City get to you, them hustle every day. I feed them dinner, riding up in line. Father God, who don't know? I've been riding up in line. City get to you, them hustle every day. I feed them dinner, riding up in line. I've been riding up in line. Riding up in line. I've been riding up a line, riding up a line.
God.
All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. I'll be studying my guests before I have them on my show. I know what y'all do before you come on here. Bless up. Luis Aldana from Cuba. Bless up yourself. Thank you for joining and tuning in. I will appreciate you. All right, so we got a couple more questions for you here, and then we're gonna let you go. But I
Okay.
encourage all to follow Rude Vibes on YouTube and all social media platforms, and we'll get to that in just a second to where you can find him. But go listen to his music. Just trust what I say.
Yeah, man.
All right. So what are some of your future projects and some of your goals? So tell me about any of your future things you have coming up and
You
any
see,
releases or any videos or anything like that. And also tell me about anything else you'd like to share with us.
okay. You see, right now, let me use this opportunity to talk about what my awaiting tune, which is what dance party, you know, an Afro dancehall tune, which I have coming out, been in talks with my team, and this is the single which we have coming out, Any moment from next month, this tune I go forward out, Since we on it, still making amendments, and tax on it, Can't really spill out the date right now, But urge everyone what to stay tuned, And when it's in the right moment, you are gonna get the what needed what links, to go listen and enjoy the music out there, And forward cocky, you see, I'm an artist, who really have a strategic picture of how I want my music to come out there,
Mm-hmm.
So I've always, been out here, working out, always trying to find myself a space out there, so that I also can be a big we are a lifting hand, to these artists, who also are facing these challenges, which Rude Vybz, have been through, And in the next 5 years or 3 years, I'm an artist who strongly believe, I'll be one of the names, to call out here, in African dancer, strictly, because we have projects out here, which we've been working, and we also are building up relationship, with other artists, which both foreign and locally, with the help of these producers, which I made mention of, I also have these, king size studio, from France, Paris, which I've been working with, Nicolas Motan, which we have an album which we're still working on, early by next year, hopefully, this album will be out there, and this will be such a different project, cause it have a mix of indie producers, out there, in foreign, both locally and foreign. So this will actually be my first album, already have
Wow.
EP out there, but from the next year, early next year, cause we have a plan of hosting my major show, out here in Ghana, we have a city, the city where I'm from, is Kumasi, Kumasi here in Ghana, we trying our best, to pop out with an annual year show, you see, which will be which will come on actually, in the mid of next year,
Mm-hmm.
So me and my team been working hard out here, and these are such kind of projects which I'll urge everyone, to follow up Root Vibes, and stay tuned for these projects, cause can't lie about this, Cocky. These projects, have a big impact, and have a big influence, and have a real work, or a tax, to come fulfill, So I would just urge each and everyone, who really were in search of motivation, inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
everything, which about lifting, just was stay tuned, and wait, for these tunes, coming out from the camp of Rude Vibes,
Okay. All right. So before we get through with you and let you go, I do want to make a couple announcements. We do have Lux Radio And Kickback with Cookie has a few sponsors. One of them is RAS Herbals. RAS Herbals is a company that grows herbs, natural Jamaican herbs in Jamaica, and harvests them and sells them. You guys are familiar with soursop and guava leaves and moringa and all those
Okay.
things. So they actually harvest them and have them for sale. It's the natural leaves that come straight off the tree. They have
Okay.
honey.
Natural herbs
um,
that.
yeah. So and then they also have make some topical products, some shampoos and body wash and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
if you are interested in purchasing any of these herbs, you can reach out to me.
Okay.
Or I don't know if Ray is still in the comments, but Ray Spence in the comments is one of the owners of RAS Herbal. So you can reach out to me. You can reach out to her. I'm an ambassador of their company as
Okay.
well. So I
Still
do
having
sell them.
my dreadlocks growing, I think I will need one of them, in the
Okay,
in the
I'll
shortest time.
we'll make sure we get you one, and that'll be on Kickback with Cookie. Okay.
Okay, okay, Cookie. I appreciate that.
No problem. We like to treat our guests good here. So one of my other sponsors is Bello Burn Hot Sauce, and Bello Burn. Okay, so he became a sponsor because I was literally buying his hot sauce. He is a friend of mine, and
Okay,
he started growing peppers and bless up Addie. He started growing peppers and harvesting and then making and
okay.
bottling hot sauce. And I bought it, and when I tasted it, I'm a hot sauce fan. By the way, I love
Oh, okay,
spicy stuff. So
okay.
I like
Would like
cheddar
to give it a
sauce.
try.
Yeah, so he made these three different hot sauce, and they're so delicious. So if anybody
Oh,
would like to try Bello Burn
okay,
hot sauce, he also just started making pickles, and those are
okay,
delicious too. So
okay.
I haven't had anything from him that I didn't really was
These
like.
all are dishes, I've never want to have a taste of.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Bello Burn hot sauce can be ordered and shipped. You can order from his website, which is www.belloburn.com. It's flashing across the bottom of the screen if you would like to order some hot sauce from him. And
Okay.
then we have one more sponsor that I haven't actually added to my media stuff yet, but she's the newest. Calaraine Candles, and Calaraine Candles is a candle maker. She makes some really beautiful candles. I'm sorry I don't have any right now, but she did send us some candles, and they smell absolutely amazing, and they're beautiful. They don't look
Okay.
like they
Calorie candles.
Calaraine Candles, yes. So maybe check out Calerain Candles on TikTok. It's CALERAIN. So, all right. So the last thing we are going to ask you today is to do you? Uh oh. What happened to him? Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. Let me see something here. I don't know what happened. Give him a minute. See if he pops back. All right. Let me remove that one. Kick this one from the studio. There we go. All right. I don't know what happened there, but you were
Oh,
in here
sorry,
twice.
kind of network, disruption out here.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So I ask all of my guests this, and I think I do it because like I'm a nervous wreck sometimes. I do this show all the time, and it seems like I'm not nervous, but I literally have a whole nervous breakdown before I do the show. So is there a certain type of ritual or anything that you do before you go have a stage show? Like when you perform, do you have something to calm your nerves down, or you have to do to make you like settle down and get ready to perform? Uh-oh. Well, maybe not. Ghana having some issues over there with the network. So we're going to wait for him to see if he comes back in, and we're going to wrap it up. All right, there he is. So Add this stage. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I know you're having some network issues there.
Yeah,
All
out
right.
here.
So, is there a ritual that you do before you go on a stage, or just to calm your nerves down, or get yourself ready for a show?
Oh, I'm really a lover, of the herbs, you see. So that's why, I always used to energize myself before stage, cause dancehall and all these things, Yeah, not strictly into bad habits, but this something, which really puts me on a high level of energy, every time I'm about to perform.
Okay. All right. So I definitely appreciate you blessing my platform with your presence. Again,
Oh,
I am a fan. I
really
am always
appreciate this opportunity too.
no problem. I'm a fan first. And when I invite
Oh,
people on this show, that means that I've
yes,
already listened to their music and I've become a fan. So I encourage you all to make sure that you follow this artist and make sure that you download his music and listen to it yourselves. I don't like to be the one to tell you something and you don't listen yourself. Go listen to it. I'm sure you're going to listen to everything else once you do. So if you can tell everybody where they can find you on all your social media
okay.
platforms.
Firstly, Rude Vibes. The name is RUDEVYBZ. That's Rude Vibes, out on all digital platforms, And with my social media handles, I have Rude Vibes on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well, all the social media handles, and with the distribution sites everywhere, just type in Rude Vibes and you will get the music out there.
Okay, bless up yourself, Addie. I'm glad you're enjoying the interview. I do appreciate you tuning in and
Yeah, the Lucica,
anything.
that's one artist I made mention of today, on my interview.
He's one of my favorite stars too, Addie. That's why
Yeah,
he's here.
shout out to Adi Lucica, big man out there.
All right, so you guys heard where to find him on all social media platforms. Like I said, make sure you follow him and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Make sure you download his music. You can find his music on any platform. I have been finding it. I have Apple Music, but I also find stuff on YouTube. He has videos that you can go look at. So make sure you support the artists. When I bring them here, that's what this show is for. Is for us to support artists that I think should already be in the limelight of everything, but they just have not had the people looking at them. So once people see Rude Vibes, he's going to be famous. So
Strictly, famous
already, like
forever.
really. So bless up yourself, Yana. Um, so I appreciate you for coming through. I'm going to let you go now. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Shout out
okay,
to Ghana, everybody watching
okay.
in Ghana. Shout out to Cuba and everybody watching in Cuba. Shout out to Jamaica. Thank you, King
Oh,
Soul, for stopping through and being supportive as always. Bless up my sister Trina, my sister-in-law April, and you guys know I'm still hanging with Dad. So my dad says bye to everyone and appreciate you for
okay.
tuning in. So
And
thank you
before I
so much.
go, Cookie, a big shout outs to everyone, who did stay tuned, for this session, this episode today, Been a great time, having you out here, Cookie, And, we'll always urge, to have this opportunity, in the days ahead.
Thank you. No problem. And we'll see you back soon when you drop your album. We're gonna bring you
Okay.
back so you can talk
Strictly,
about your
strictly.
album. Okay?
You know, I'll be very appreciated, to be out
Oh,
here and sit,
absolutely.
on the album once again.
Yeah, you were a guest this time. You can come back anytime you want to. You're not a guest after you come the first time. You can come anytime
Okay.
you want after the first time. Okay?
Okay, okay.
All right. Well,
Shout
thank
outs out
you
there,
so
Big
much.
respect, okay.
I want to let everybody know if you're interested in watching this whole interview, you can go on YouTube and see. Just play it anytime you want to, and it should be on the website at all times too. You can scroll over with the arrow on the live stream part of the website and see any shows that have aired on Lux Radio. So you also can be able to play back this one. So Thank you so much, Rude Vibes, and we will
Okay,
see you
thank you. I
soon.
appreciate you, Cocky.
Bless up yourself.
Respect to everyone out here, Road Vice. Respect.
All right, guys. So that was my Ghanaian recording artist. That was actually referred to me through Maxwell Sparta. So I do want to shout out Maxwell Sparta once again. Maxwell Sparta helps some really lucky artists because he is definitely a good person to have in your corner in the music industry. I promise you. So bless up to Maxwell Sparta and Brown Boss Music. Bless up everyone watching. I appreciate you all, and make sure you guys tune in every morning to Mel B's Morning Kickstart. It is Monday through Friday. If you are in Jamaica, it is at 7 a.m. If you're on Central Time, it is at 2 p.m. If you're on Eastern Standard Time, it is at, am I saying this right? No, it's at 8 a.m. And in Ghana, it would be a 12 noon. So make sure you tune in Monday through Friday. And there's also a show called Chief and Go. DC has its own genre of music, and the music is heavily dependent upon percussion. And if you guys have known that, similar to what they do in native African countries, they play something called the congas, and go-go includes the congas. Only DC is crazy, and they change everything, the name of everything. So they don't call them congas; they call them congos. Just go with me, okay? That is what they call them. That is what they've been calling them forever. So Chief and Go is strictly based on the history and the current of the go-go industry in this area. So if you want to learn something about go-go, if you want to learn how the music is made, it is always live bands, it's live music. I'm a big live music fan, so I like to hear the different instruments, the guitars, the drums, the congas, all of that. I like to hear all of it. So I like music. Matter of fact, my dad and I are going to hear Lit Band. Bless up to my Lit Band that I actually used to manage. I do Dusty Darris. Bless up yourself. But I don't manage them anymore because that is a lot. And I manage 7 artists already. So I am kind of swamped with management. And it's too many personalities in the band. But they're still my band. I still help them when they need help. And I definitely love going to see them play. I love their sound. So, yeah, we're going out. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure that you check out Bellow Burn Hot Sauce at bellowburn.com, www.belloburn.com. Make sure you check out RAS Herbals, and you can find them on all social media platforms at RAS Herbals or RAS Enterprises. Either one of those, you can get in touch with them. He says Rude Vybz is sitting on a time bomb. He is, and he's getting ready to explode. I'm trying to tell you, this world needs to understand that it's so many talented artists in this industry, and they're everywhere. So like I said, I'm not a typical radio show personality. I like to expose everyone. It doesn't matter where you're from. I'm just gonna stick to this area. I like music. If it sounds good, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna become a fan, and then I'm gonna say, hey, you want to be a guest on my show? So I appreciate Rude Vybz, and like I said, he actually quickly made me a fan, as all of the other guests that I've had on the show, including the upcoming ones as well as the past ones. But I'm looking forward to having Rude Vybz back, and I appreciate you all tuning in. And so also that I said RAS Herbal. So the last sponsor, you guys, please follow Calerain Candles. It's CALERAIN. So like Kale Rain, CALERAIN. So but it's pronounced Calerain Candles. They make some beautiful candles. I wish I had some to show you, but I'm not at home. I'm at my brother's house today because my dad is visiting. So, oh, thank you so much, Dusty. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I just try to do what I can. I never imagined myself as a radio personality a day in my life. So I guess because of how all of this played out with the radio station and my show, I guess I was just supposed to be doing this. So I guess my job, my assignment in the music industry is to help as many artists as I can. I'm an artist manager, and I know the business like the back of my hand. So I try to help even the ones that I don't manage, and I try to give them platforms, and this is one of those platforms that I give them. I also know other people in radio, so I can send them to other interviews. But I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday. Unfortunately for you guys in Ghana, my show is kind of late for you. It would be like 11 p.m. your time. My show is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can tune in, if you're up that late, by all means, tune in, tap in, say something in the comments, and I'll make sure that I give you a shout out. So bless up, everyone. Have a good day, and I'll see you next week.